Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chapter 32. Kapila Uvacha Atayo Gruhamedhiyan Dharmanevavasan Gruhe Kamamartha cha Dharman Swan Dogdhi Bhuyaf Pipartitan. The personality of Godhead said, the person who lives in the center of the household life derives material benefits by performing religious rituals, and thereby he fulfills his desire for economic development and sense gratification. Again and again he acts the same way. Sachapi Bhagavad Dharmat Kama Muda Parangmukha Yajate Kratubhirdevan Pitrumscha Shraddhayanvitaha. Such persons are ever bereft of devotional service due to being too attached to sense gratification, and therefore, although they perform various kinds of sacrifices and take great vows to satisfy the demigods and forefathers, they're not interested in Krishna consciousness or devotional service. Tachradhyakranta matihi Pitrudeva vratah puman Gatva chandramasam lokam Somapah punareshyati. Such materialistic persons attracted by sense gratification and devoted to the forefathers and demigods can be elevated to the moon, but they drink an extract of soma plant. Where they drink, such materialistic persons attracted by sense gratification and devoted to the forefathers and demigods can be elevated to the moon, where they drink an extract of the soma plant. They again return to this planet. Yada chahindriya shayyayam shetenantasano harihi tada lokalayam yanti tayete gruhamedhinam. All the planets of the materialistic persons, including all the heavenly planets such as the moon, are vanquished when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, goes to his bed of serpents, which is known as Anantasesha. Ye swadharman druhyanti dhirah kamartha hetave nissanganyasta karmanaha prashanta shuddha chetasaha. Those who are intelligent and are of purified consciousness are completely satisfied in Krishna consciousness. Freed from the modes of material nature, they do not act for sense gratification. Rather, since they are situated in their own occupational duties, they act as one is expected to act. Nivruttir dharma nirata Nirmama nirahankrutaha swadharmaptena satvena parishuddhena chetasa. By executing one's occupational duties, acting with detachment and without a sense of proprietorship or false egoism, one is posted in one's constitutional position by dint of complete purification of consciousness, and by thus executing so-called material duties, he can easily enter the kingdom of the God. सूर्यद्वारेण ते यान्ति पुरुषं विश्वतोमुखं परावशेषं प्रकृतिम् अस्तोत्पत्यन्तभावनम्. Through the path of illumination, such liberated persons approach the complete personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of the material and spiritual worlds, and is the supreme cause of their manifestation and dissolution. द्विपरार्धावसानेयः प्रलयो ब्रह्मणस्तु ते तावदध्यासते लोकं परस्य परचिन्तकाः. Worshippers of Hiranyagarbha, expansion of personality of Godhead, remain within their material world until the end of two parardhas, when Lord Brahma also dies. Kshmabhyo nala viyanmana indriyartha bhutadivih parivrutam pratisanjihirshuhu avyakrutam vishati yarhi gunatrayatma kalam pararabdhamanu bhuyah parav swayam bhuhu. After experiencing the inhabitable time of the three modes of material nature, known as two parardhas, Lord Brahma closes the material universe, which is covered by layers of earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, ego, etc., and goes back to Godhead. Yevam paretya bhagavantamanu pravishta evam paretya bhagavantamanu pravishta ye yogino jitamarun manaso viragaha ne tenaiva sakamamrutam purusham puranam brahmapradhanamupayantyagatабhimanaha. The yogis who become detached from the material world by practice of breathing exercises and control of mind reach the planet of Brahma, which is far, far away. After giving up their bodies, they enter into the body of Lord Brahma. And therefore, when Brahma is liberated and goes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Brahman, such yogis also enter into the kingdom of God. Atatam sarvabhutanam hrutpadmeshu krutalayam shrutanubhavam sharanam vrajabhavena bhamini. Therefore, my dear mother, by devotional service, take direct shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart. Adyastira charanam yo vedagarbhas saharshibihi yogeshwarai kumaradhyaihi siddhyair yoga pravartakaihi भेदधृष्ट्याभिमानेन निस्सङ्गेनापि कर्मणा कर्तृत्वात् सगुणं ब्रह्म पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ संसृत्य पुनः कालेनेश्वरमूर्तिना जाते गुणव्यतिकरे यथा पूर्वं प्रजायते ऐश्वर्यं पारमेष्ट्यं च तेऽपि धर्मविनिर्मितं निश्चेव्य पुनरायान्ति गुणाव्यतिकरे सति. My dear mother, someone may worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a special self-interest. But even demigods such as Lord Brahma, great sages such as Sanat Kumara, and great munis such as Maricha have come back to the material world again at the time of creation. When the interaction of the three modes of material nature begins, Brahma, who is the creator of this cosmic manifestation and who is full of Vedic knowledge, and the great sages, who are the authors of spiritual path and the yoga system, come back under the influence of the time factor. They are liberated by their non fruitive activities and they attain the first incarnation of the Purusha. But at the time of creation, they come back in exactly the same forms and positions as they had previously. ये त्विहा सक्तमनसः कर्मसु श्रद्धयान्विताः कुर्वन्त्यप्रतिषिद्धानि नित्यान्यपि च कृत्स्नशः. Persons who are too addicted to this material world execute their prescribed duties very nicely and with great faith. They daily perform all such prescribed duties with attachment to the fruitive result. Rajasa kuntamanasah कामात्मानो जितेन्द्रियाः पितॄन् यजन्त्यनुदिनं गृहेष्वभिरताशयः. Such persons, impelled by the mode of passion, are full of anxieties and always aspire for sense gratification due to uncontrolled senses. They worship the forefathers and are busy day and night improving the economic conditions of their family, social or national life. Traivargikaste purusha vimukha harimedasaha katayam kataniyoru vikramasya madudvishaha. Such persons are called Traivargika because they are interested in the three elevating processes. They are averse to Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can give relief to the conditioned soul. They are not interested in the Supreme Personality's pastimes, which are worth hearing because of his transcendental prowess. Nunam daivena vihata ye chachyutakata sudham हित्वा शृण्वन्त्य सद्घाताः पुरीशमिव vidbhujah. Such persons are condemned by the supreme order of the Lord because they are averse to the nectar of activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are compared to stool-eating hogs. They give up hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord and indulge in hearing of the abominable activities of materialistic persons. Dakshinena pataryam naha pitrulokam vrajanti te prajamanuprajayante shamashananta kriyakritaha. Such materialistic persons are allowed to go to the planet called Pitruloka by the southern course of the sun, but they again come back to this planet and take birth in their own families, beginning again the same fruitive activities from birth to the end of life. Tataste Shrina Sukrutaha Punarlokamimam Sati Patanti Vivasha Devaihi Sadhyo Vibramshitodayaha. When the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they fall down by higher arrangement and again come back to this planet, just as any person raised to the high position sometimes all of a sudden falls. Tasmat tvam sarvabhavena भजस्व परमेष्टिनं तद्गुणाश्रयया भक्त्या भजनीयपदाम्बुजम्. My dear mother, I therefore advise that you take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for his lotus feet are worth worshipping. Accept this with all devotion and love, and for thus you can be situated in transcendental devotional service. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगः प्रयोजितः जनयत्याशु वैराग्यं ज्ञानं यद्ब्रह्मदर्शनम्. Engagement in Krishna consciousness and application of devotional service unto Krishna make it possible to advance in knowledge and detachment, as well as in self-realization. Yadasya chitta marteshu sameshvindriya vruttibihi na vigruhnati vaishamyam priyamapriya mityuta. The exalted devotee's mind becomes equipoised in sensory activities, and he is transcendental to that which is agreeable and not agreeable. Satadaivatmanatmanam nissangasamadarsanam heyopadeya rahitam arudam padamikshate. Because of this transcendental intelligence, the pure devotee is equipoised in his vision and sees himself to be uncontaminated by matter. He does not see anything as superior or inferior, and he feels himself elevated by the transcendental platform of being equal in qualities with the Supreme Person. Jnanamatram param brahma paramatmeshwarah puman दृश्याधिभिः पृथग्भावैर् भगवानेक ईयते. The Supreme Personality of Godhead alone is complete transcendental knowledge, but according to his different processes of understanding, he appears differently, either as impersonal Brahman, a Paramatma, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or as the Purusha Avatara. एतावानेव योगेन समग्रेणेह योगिनः युज्यतेऽभिमतो ह्यर्थो यदसङ्गस्तु कृत्स्नशः. The greatest common understanding of all yogis is complete detachment from matter, which can be achieved by different kinds of yoga. ज्ञानमेकं पराचीनैर् इन्द्रियैर्ब्रह्मनिर्गुणम् अवभात्यर्थरूपेण भ्रान्त्या शब्दादिधर्मिणा. Those who are averse to the transcendence realize the supreme absolute truth differently through speculative sense perception, and therefore, because of mistaken speculation, everything appears to them to be relative. Yata mahanaham rupas trivrit panchavidaswarat ekadashavidhastasya vapurandam jagadhyatah. Free from the total energy, the Mahat Tattva, I have manifested the false ego, the three modes of material nature, the 5 material elements, the individual consciousness, the 11 senses, and the material body. Similarly, the entire universe has come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ye tadvai shraddhaya bhaktya yogabhyasena nityashah समाहितात्मा निस्सङ्गो विरक्त्या परिपश्यति. This perfect knowledge can be achieved by a person who is already engaged in devotional service with faith, steadiness, and full detachment, and who is always absorbed in thought of Supreme. He is aloof from material association. इत्येतत्कथितं गुर्वी ज्ञानं तद्ब्रह्मदर्शनं येनानुबुध्यते तत्त्वं प्रकृतेः पुरुषस्य च. My dear respectful mother, I have already described the path of understanding the absolute truth by which one can come to understand the real truth of matter and spirit and their relationship. ज्ञानयोगश्च मन्निष्ठो नैर्गुण्यो भक्तिलक्षणः द्वयोरप्येक एवार्थो भगवच्छब्दलक्षणः. Philosophical research culminates in understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After achieving this understanding, when one becomes free from material modes of nature, he attains the stage of devotional service. Either by devotional service directly or by philosophical research, one can find the same destination, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. यतेन्द्रियैः पृथग्द्वारैः अर्थो बहुगुणाश्रयः एको नानेयते तद्वद् Bhagavan Shastravartmabhihi. A single object is appreciated differently by different senses due to its having different qualities. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, but according to different scriptural injunctions, he appears to be different. Kriyaya क्रतुभिर्दानैस्तपः स्वाध्यायमर्षणैः आत्मेन्द्रियजनेयापि सन्न्यासेन च कर्मणां योगेन विविधाङ्गेन भक्तियोगेन चैव हि धर्मेणोभयचिह्वेन यः प्रवृत्तिनिवृत्तिमान् आत्मनत्वावबोधेन वैराग्येन दृढेन च ईयते भगवानेभिः सुगुणो निर्गुणः स्वधृक्. By performing fruitive activities and sacrifices, by distributing charity, by performing austerities, by studying various literatures, by conducting philosophical research, by controlling the mind, by subduing the senses, by accepting the renounced order of the life, and by performing the prescribed duties of one's social order, by performing the different divisions of yoga practice, by performing devotional service, and by exhibiting the process of devotional service containing the symptoms of both attachment and detachment, by understanding the signs of self-realization, and by developing a strong sense of detachment, one who is expert in understanding the different processes of self-realization realizes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is represented in the material world as well as in transcendence. प्रावोचं भक्तियोगस्य स्वरूपं ते चतुर्विधं कालस्य चाव्यक्तगतेर्योऽन्तर्धावति जन्तुषु. My dear mother, I have explained to you the process of devotional service and its identity in 4 different social divisions. I have explained to you as well how eternal time is chasing the living entities, although it is imperceptible to them. Jivasya samsrutir bahvir avidya karma nirmitaha. या स्वङ्गप्रविशन्नात्मा न vedagatimatmanah. There are varieties of material existence for the living entity according to the work he performs in ignorance or forgetfulness of his real identity. My dear mother, if anyone enters into that forgetfulness, he is unable to understand where his movements will end. नैतत् स्वलायोपद नैतत् खलायोपदिशोन् नाविनीताय कर्हिचित् न स्तब्धाय न भिन्नाय नैव धर्मध्वजाय च. Lord Kapila continued, this instruction is not meant for the envious, for the agnostics of a persons who are unclean in their behavior, nor is it for hypocrites or for persons who are proud of material possessions. Nalo lupayopadishon न गृहारूढ चेतसे न भक्ताय च मे जातु न मद्भक्तद्विषामपि. It is not to be instructed to persons who are too greedy and too attached to family life, nor to persons who are non-devotees and who are envious of the devotees and the personality of Godhead. श्रद्धानाय भक्ताय विनीतायानसूयवे भूतेषु कृतमैत्राय शुश्रूषाभिरताय च. Instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. Bahirjata viragaya shantachittaya dhiyatam nirmatsaraya suchaye yasyaham preyasam priyah. This instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master to persons who have taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. Ya idam shrunuyad amba Ya idam shrunuyad amba shraddhaya purushah sakrut yo va bidatte macchittaha sahyeti padavim cha me. Anyone who once meditates upon me with faith and affection, who hears and chants about me, surely goes back home, back to Godhead. Anyone who once meditates upon me with faith and affection, and who hears and chants about me, surely goes back home, back to Godhead. Thus ends the chapter entitled Entanglement in Fruitive Actions. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.